Good morning, everyone. So the first thing I want to say is that this talk is brought to you by Ernest Holmes via the Science of Mind textbook and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. I'm just kind of facilitating everything, okay? So first thing from the textbook, page 35. There is a universal divine mind, spirit, intelligence that is the origin of everything. It is first cause, God. There is one life back of everything that lives. There is one energy back of everything that is energized. The energy is in everything. There is one spirit back of all expression. The life we live is the universal divine mind expressing through us. Else, how could we live? Page 37 of the textbook. We are thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and therein flowing through us is a creative something. Our thought and emotion is the use we make, consciously or unconsciously, of this original creative thing that is the cause of everything. The sum total of all our thought, will, purpose, and belief creates a tendency in this law that causes it to react to us according to the sum total of that belief. When consciousness speaks, the law receives and executes. Spirit works for us by working through us. Now, let's look at this equation a little bit. The law, page 28. I like how the textbook just all of a sudden mentions this incredible thing called the law. It says, there are not two minds. Mind, the thing itself, spirit, causation, comes under two classifications. There are not two minds, but rather two names employed in describing states of consciousness. The objective or conscious and the subjective or unconscious. We think of the conscious state as our conscious use of mind. The subconscious or subjective state of mind is the unconscious, that part of mind which is set in motion as a creative thing by the conscious state. Within us is a mental law working out the will and purposes of our conscious thoughts. Now, I thought that we needed a deeper look at law. And so in the glossary of our textbook, page 605, law, it's mind in action. The creative medium of spirit is the great mental law of the universe. It is the law of spirit. It is the universal law of mind. The laws of mind must be understood if there are to be conscious use for a definite purpose. There is no limit to the law, but it appears to be a limit to man's understanding of it. The thing that makes us sick is the thing that heals us. We need not look for the law of sickness and the law of health. There is only one law. Our misuse of it makes it appear as though there are many laws. Whatever we think, believe in, feel, visualize, vision, image, read, talk about, in fact, all processes which affect or impress us at all are going into the subconscious, subjective state of our thought, which is our individualized use of mind. The law is a blind force, it's automatic. And whatever goes into the subjective state of our thought tends to return again as some condition. So let's talk about this. Look, from the time we're in the womb, our subconscious is being programmed. And when we're born, for years and years and years, we're like sponges taking it all in. We're just receiving, we're just receiving. And we don't know enough to say no. Even though little kids like to say no, our subconscious does not say no. Any thoughts, feelings, decisions, judgments that we make about our life, about our experiences, are being programmed into our subconscious mind. But in addition to that, it's not just that simple. We come into this world, our physical beings, we come into this world with a divine prototype, a divine structure. And so, just for example, there are things that are programmed into our DNA, not only our eye color and our hair color, our personalities, our uniqueness, memories from our ancestors, possibly from past lives. Then, whatever environment we're born into, that impresses us, that impacts us, as well as all of our experiences. And so, the law of creation responds to the sum total of us, all of that. And guess what? It says yes. Page 29. To learn how to think is to learn how to live. For our thoughts go into a medium that is infinite. It's an ability to do and to be. It is infinite in its ability to do and to be. Man, by thinking and feeling, can bring into his experience whatever he desires if he thinks correctly and becomes the living embodiment of his thoughts and feelings. And so Jesus said, "It is done unto you as you believe." Our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of a principle which of itself is without limits. Page 39 of the textbook. Good, not good and evil. There's only good. We experience good and evil because we perceive a presence of duality rather than unity. I want to talk about this a little bit because this is one that I've struggled with, and I don't know, maybe you're clear on it, but I've struggled with. So, in this physical universe, there exists polarity, and polarity suggests that there are opposites. But in reality, these opposites, these things that appear to be opposites, are really interconnected and dependent upon each other. And therein lies the unity, the underlying unity. So I'm not a chemist, but if you go and research and check out polarity and the different kinds of bonds that exist, there's always something within the atom where one requires the use of the other for its existence and for its balance. It's really very fascinating. And so, even though things appear to be separate and opposite, they're actually really connected. There is really only one. And so, what I want to really stress today is that the divine presence is good. It's only good. It is love. And anything that we experience, any manifestation, any expression that we experience from love is absolutely good. The beauty that we see in the world, the creativity, the possibilities, the opportunities, the energies that we see in the world. If you just go and look at nature, you know, but we don't sometimes have the eyes to see, to really understand that everything that is created, that has been created at its essence is love, and is created out of love. And love is absolutely the most powerful force there is in the universe. So let's take a moment to listen to and honor Dr. Martin Luther King. He said that I am convinced that love is the most durable power in the world. It is not an expression of impractical idealism, but of practical realism. Far from being the pious injunction of a utopian dreamer, love is an absolute necessity for the survival of our civilization. To return hate for hate does nothing but intensify the existence of evil in the universe. Someone must have sense enough and religion enough to cut off the chain of hate and evil. And this can only be done through love. Love is creative, understanding goodwill for all men. It is a refusal to defeat any individual. I need to say that again. It is the refusal to defeat any individual. When you rise to the level of love of its great beauty and power, you seek only to defeat evil systems, individuals who happen to be caught up in that system. You love, but you seek to defeat the system. Why? Because if we love and honor ourselves and who we are, and spirit and the universe in the physical world, sometimes we have to set boundaries. Yes? Hopefully. Hatred paralyzes life, love releases it. Hatred confuses life, love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life, love illuminates it. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And so I remember a profound experience I had when I was a young woman. I was going through something where I had been attacked and it was racially motivated, and I was very upset. And I was out walking the dog and I looked up in the sky and saw these amazing stars. And I had a revelation, I had a realization. And my revelation was that the God that created this incredible experience called life, the beauty that I see in it, the stars, the ocean, the smile in a little child's eyes, that God could not be a slave master. And I'm not just talking about in terms of racial slavery. I'm talking about our ability to be free as human beings, as individuals, no matter where we come from, how were we created, what skin we're in. I'm talking about the freedom of life. And so in closing, page 25 of the textbook, to suppose that the creative intelligence of the universe would create man in bondage and leave him bound would be to dishonor the creative power which we call God. To suppose that God could make a man as an individual without leaving him to discover himself would be to suppose an impossibility. Individuality must be spontaneous. It can never be automatic. The seed of freedom must be planted in the innermost being of man. We see abundance in the universe. We cannot count the grains of sand on a single beach. The earth contains untold riches, and the very air is vibrant with power. Why then is man weak, poor, and afraid? The divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. All instinctively feel this. The truth points to freedom under law. Thus, the inherent nature of man is forever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. We do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, of a freedom which the soul craves. Let's take this into treatment. And so, knowing and affirming that there is a divine creative intelligence, that its essence, its energy, its very beingness is love, that it is infinite and unlimited, it is all powerful and everywhere evenly present. It is beauty and harmony and peace and wholeness. It is creative. It creates everything that I know of as life. It creates all that there is, and it expresses uniquely and individually by means of its creation. Its very beingness, all of its qualities and attributes are within and available to its creation. And so, as I speak this word, I affirm for the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, for anyone who hears this, for anyone, any place in existence who craves freedom, who craves self expression, who craves peace and love and to bathe in beauty and wholeness. I affirm this word for each of us, that the divine presence that I call God says yes. And it says yes, and it answers with the ways, the means, the opportunities, the energy, the right ideas, the right thoughts, the right feelings, the right set of circumstances to unfold this divine expression of love, to unfold the divine expression of beauty, to unfold that which each one of us craves for, because it is God choosing to express itself. It is God choosing to experience itself. It is God choosing to be love. And so I affirm that there is a clarity. There is a clarity that has not been experienced before. There is a connection to this divine presence that is palpable, that each one of us is able to utilize to express what we want to experience in this life, to express what is the highest good, to express that which empowers, that which energizes, that which allows us to move forward in ongoing, healthy, wholesome, positive, loving, joyous, prosperous, creative ways. This is the co-creativity that God has ordained, and it expresses with clarity in and through and as each one of us. And for this, I am so grateful. I am so grateful to know that truly I am free. We are free. And so I release this word into the law, knowing that it is God and only God that makes it so. And I choose to accept it, to allow it, and to receive it. Please close with me. And so it is.